Alright, I haven't done one of these in a while, and I got one of those goofy selfie sticks, so maybe it should help stabilize the walk a little bit better. I don't know, I figured I would just talk about stuff as I walked along. I haven't done this in a while, so. I did have one thing I wanted to bring up. I wanted to bring up my top 5 favorite rappers. Number 5 favorite rapper for me. It would be E40, definitely. He has shaped the Bay Area rap and Northern California rap community for 30 years now, in a major way. He did Captain Save-A-Ho, Go Down, Function, countless other hits. And he has a very unique style that nobody has been able to duplicate or even try to duplicate. So number 4 might surprise you. Number 4 is Kanye West. Now, why would I say Kanye West? His raps, sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're not, but when they're good, they're great and they're socially conscious. Not to mention, he has changed the way we listen to music over the past 20 years. Like, College Dropout came out a long time ago. Also, speaking of that, he has quite a few classic albums. To note, the biggest ones would be College Dropout and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Just like the way he makes music, the way he makes his beats, it's something that you're not going to get from the regular rapper. Okay, number 3. Number 3 would be Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle, he was hidden. I didn't know where he was until a year after he died. He's come out with so many albums and mixtapes and so much material that it's a wealth of material to really fall into. I would say he was the closest predecessor to Tupac. I mean, he's the next one. He could have been the next Tupac, but he wasn't. He was shot probably by the CIA, probably just like Tupac. And Nipsey Hussle was awesome. Crenshaw and Victory Lap, those are some solid albums. But my favorite of him right now is Nip Hussle the Great Volume 2. There's a lot of really varied kinds of music. It's really great. Really great. Now, who would be number 2? Number 2 would be Jay-Z. Why would it be Jay-Z? Because Jay-Z has changed the game over and over again. Now he owns half of stadiums or whatever. He's a billionaire. Really likes Basquiat a little too much, to be honest. And he had a bunch of classic albums. His first album, Reasonable Doubt, classic. The Black Album, it was a classic. Watch the Throne with Jay-Z and Kanye West, that was also a classic. He's come out with a lot of good albums. A couple bad ones. Kingdom Come wasn't great, but for the most part, Jay-Z is a very solid artist who has a very solid discography. Now, who is number 1? Well, it's not Biggie, because honestly, I don't think Biggie was good enough to put on the top 5 list. He was good. He'd maybe be in the top 10, but not in the top 5. Things have changed. Maybe in the 90s he would have been top 5. Even the 2000s he would have been top 5. But things change, you know? More artists come out. You know, you can't just say who is the best rock musicians or rock bands and do a cutoff of 1980. That's not how that works. You know, you got to bring up the Rolling Stones and Arcade Fire or something. So my number 1 rapper, that would be Tupac. Tupac. Tupac was like royalty. He was born in jail. Afeni Shakur was his mom, and Mutulu Shakur was his dad. Together, they founded the New York the Brooklyn chapter of the Black Panthers. Mutulu Shakur is a political prisoner now. I don't know what's happening with Afeni. But honestly, in my book, that's like royalty. That's like royalty to me. Like, there's a lot of people who have even said to me, oh yeah, he was my cousin. And it's like 4 times removed on like an in-laws side. Tupac had a very storied history growing up. He even went to Juilliard for a while. He grew up in Oakland and LA and New York City. Now his music, I'm not huge on his first 2 albums because it just kind of has an old school feel to it. I like the messaging of it, but I just couldn't get into it. Now Me Against the World is one of the best rap albums made of all time. It's just like perfect from the beginning to the end, and it's the kind of album you could just turn on and just vibe to it for like hour, 90 minutes straight. I think it's about an hour. And then he came out with All Eyes on Me. All Eyes on Me was like his magnum opus, I guess you would say it was. There was 2 discs on it. Honestly, I like the second disc a little bit better. But it created the paradigm. But it kind of created the paradigm for all rap albums to follow. You know, there's the weed song, there's the girl song, there's a really conscious song at the end, there's a hype song at the beginning. You think about it, it's like it's like the pattern, the paradigm for all rap albums now, or at least not all, but quite a bit. People tried to follow that same like routine of songs for years, for 10, 20 years, and they're still doing it. People are still sampling Tupac. You know, it's like he was easily number 1. Okay, that was my top 5. Now, what's next? I sure am happy we're not talking about Ukraine anymore. I think everyone was sick of hearing about that shit. Remember when everyone had a blue and yellow flag looking like dummies? I remember that. People don't forget.